You said you'd tell me the truth. Why don't we start with this?
That is the mark of the Crimson Dragon. It belongs to those who protect our world from the darkness.
Oh, is that all? Then why did it choose me, huh?
Because you are strong and selfless, you say. The dragon knew you would not run from a challenge or from the darkness that is coming. And this darkness is dangerous. It will take on many forms. It may be a stranger or a friend. But you will know, for they will have the mark of the shadows.
Mark of the shadows? You must mean the Dark Signers. I dueled one of their drones, and he had a glowing spider on his arm.
Then the first battle of this war has already been won. Just as you were chosen to protect the light, they choose to protect the darkness. They will stop at nothing to stop you, you say.
Dark Signers, chosen protectors, but when did all this start?
Perhaps we should go back to the beginning, 5,000 years ago, when the war began.
Now we're getting somewhere. Tell me.
There were two great armies, one of shadow and one of light. They battled across the face of the earth, nearly destroying the whole planet. The army of light wasn't an army of men and steel, but of dragons. 5 powerful creatures that had sworn to protect the earth at all costs. They fought the army of shadows, comprised of other creatures, unknown except for the scars they left on the soil. The armies had gathered for one final battle. The dragons knew they had not the individual strength to win, so they combined their power into a single force, the Crimson Dragon. The creatures of the shadows fought fiercely, but they were no match for the combined might of the dragons and their Crimson Hero. Eventually, the army of shadows was defeated, but not destroyed. Instead, its essence was trapped deep beneath the earth, taking with them one prisoner, the ancient fairy dragon. The creatures of the shadows were imprisoned under the Nazca lines, but the dragons knew that one day they might return, and so they sacrificed themselves, instilling the power of the 5 dragons in generation after generation of humans, hoping that maybe the Crimson Dragon could be summoned again. You have the spirit of a dragon in you, you say, just as the Dark Signers are possessed by the growing power of the army of shadows.
But how? And why now? I thought they were trapped under the ground or something. It's been 5,000 years.
It was something we couldn't possibly predict that would happen. Tell me, have you heard of the energy reactor? It was built to absorb the positive energy created through dueling. But to create a better future, we had to take risks in the past. Years ago, a prototype was built. It was kept deep underground, below the slums of the satellite. Our goal was to harness the incredible energy created through the competition of dueling and use it as a positive force. Imagine, powering all of New Domino City with just a pack of cards. We would be a beacon for the world. But then, something happened. Instead of releasing useful positive energy, the first energy reactor had a meltdown. Negative energy erupted and split New Domino City in two. Everything above the reactor was infused with this negative energy. It became a barren wasteland of depression. It became the satellite. But the troubles didn't end there. The burst of negative energy was so strong, the surface of the earth trembled, and something deep beneath it was awoken.
The army of shadows.
Exactly. They fed on the negative energy, growing in power until now, when they were strong enough to continue their war. We can't let that happen. I know this must all come as a shock, but I promise you that my grief is even worse than you could imagine. After all, I was in favor of its creation. I thought it would help people. But lo and behold, the power of this reactor has sparked a war between the Signers and the forces of darkness. But I know how to end it, and I'm going to need your help. That duel tournament wasn't held just for fun. I had some suspicions who the Signers might be, and that tournament proved it. Now that I've gathered you all together, you can combine your strength and defeat the Dark Signers, those who are trying to open the earthen prison of the Shadow Army.
And if we can't and they release the shadows?
If that should happen, well, you've already seen a glimpse of our fate. During your duel with Jack, do you remember?
can't get it out of my head. The satellite was destroyed. Can we evacuate? Get all the people to safety? I got friends that are stuck there, Goodwin.
Where would you take them? Satellites first, then New Domino would be next. The planet will be reduced to ash. But the first battle must take place in the satellite. That's where this negative energy originated, and that's where it must be stopped.
What am I to do? Am I supposed to beat this army of shadows on my own? Am I supposed to put the safety of all of my friends in my deck?
The people need a hero, you say. Be that hero. Defeat the Dark Signers. Or let them take over. The choice is yours. What's it going to be?
I'll take these signers on. But wait, you said there's 5 of us, didn't you? I'm only counting 4 signers. Who's the 5th?
I'm still working on that, you say. But I'm sure they'll show up. For now, let's get you back to the satellite. Don't let the world down, you say.